under wraps, Tyler. I am here at the Mercedes-Benz headquarters with Dimitri Zalakis, who is the president of Mercedes-Benz USA. Let's do this. Let's take off the wraps on the EQS
Absolutely.
and show everybody what you just officially unveiled within the last hour. This is a sedan that people are going to look at and they're going to say, all right, I definitely see Mercedes-Benz here, but perhaps I'm a little bit surprised at every feature that is in here, and we're going to go inside in just a little bit. What are you shooting for with the EQS?
I think here's the first Mercedes electric. So electric now has its Mercedes, and it does not have any Mercedes, it has an S-Class. S-Class stands for our flagship, and now on the electric era, we have our flagship, the EQS.
Do us a favor, take us inside here, especially as you open the door here. Note this, Tyler, watch this. The door opens itself. Dimitri, hop in, and we want to come around the car and give people some perspective. On the inside, you have gone above and beyond in terms of what you're expecting for communication and infotainment. Tell us about the MBUX hyperscreen here, because I think people, they've seen some pictures.
This is one of the innovations that the EQS is bringing, and I think it's fascinating. This is blowing minds. It's the hyperscreen, 56-inch dashboard.
The entire dashboard, basically.
And has 3 individual screens, each one capable of infotainment, navigation, and especially for the co-driver, you can have emails, films, whatever.
Now, you know some people will look at this right here, and they'll say, if a movie is playing here, I don't want the person driving watching it. How do you keep that from happening?
Phil, you know pretty well that Mercedes-Benz stands for safety, so that would not be possible. The driver has to focus on the central screen, on the one in the middle. He cannot look on the screen on the side. So these are all taken care by Mercedes.
Let me have you step out for a second here, Dimitri. There will be people who will watch this, and they will say, okay, you're going to start this. You haven't announced a price yet, but it's likely going to be 6 figures, at least the initial ones, over 100,000. And when you look at this, you will say, how much of this market can you bring the price down? How quickly can you bring it down to the $70,000, the $60,000 range in your other models?
This is our flagship electric car, okay? So this has technologies, has size, has design, has qualities, which bring the car to the upper price range. But we're coming up with new models in next year, which will be priced lower than the EQS. We talk about the EQE, we talk about EQE SUV, and we talk about the EQS SUV, which will also come in the market in 2022. So there's a whole range to fit more customers' capabilities.
You and I were talking before the interview about the market right now. It is red hot, but you said it could be even hotter if you could supply more vehicles. The chip shortage, how much is that hampering or holding back your sales right now?
I would say that US is on the positive side because based on the flexibility that our factories are showing, the Tuscaloosa factory, which is producing GLE, GLS here, is doing pretty well and is catching up with the rhythm of the market. But definitely we have a lot of work behind us because the shortage is a headache for the whole industry.
Does it lag does it continue into the fall? Do you expect it continuing to the end of this year? When do we finally say, okay, we're seeing the supply that the automakers want to build?
We cannot predict that. We're still struggling as industry, but as I said before, we're handling well, managing and prioritizing our production based on the flexibility we have in our production lines.
One last question about the EQS and your electric vehicles. You're eventually going to be building them here in the United States. This one is going to be imported from Germany.
Right.
Will you do battery production here in the U.S.?
Yes. The plan is that we localize production for a couple of our cars, and a battery factory is being in preparation to supply the batteries for our electric vehicles in the U.S.
Dimitri Zalakis, the president of Mercedes-Benz USA. This is, wow. You guys, a car that you're going to want to see when you get a chance up close.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.